Hi folks, it's William with Lodestone, and I'm coming to you this week with another quick tip, this time on Adobe InDesign CC. Now I'm using the latest edition here, the 2015 edition, and I just wanted to point out one of the quirky little things that happens when you publish content out of InDesign into a reflowable Epub. So I have a really simple document here. I got a little blue border or a little blue background there. I have a title, a subheading, and then a little bit of text here, and a little logo there at the bottom. So let's see what happens if we publish this as an Epub. So I'm going to go to my File menu, and I'm going to choose Export. Here at the bottom for my format, I'm going to choose the Epub Reflowable and go ahead and click Save. Here in the options for my Epub, I'm simply going to make sure that I am using version 3.0. So this is the Epub 3.0. And that's really all I'm going to change about these settings. I'm going to go ahead and tell this OK. It's going to give me a little warning about one of the fonts that I'm using, and that's okay. And it's going to show me my document. But wait a minute, this doesn't look much like what I had inside of InDesign. And you may have run into this before. In fact, you may have run into it quite a few times when you are publishing your Epubs. And this is just one of the quirky little things that InDesign does. But why? So my title here is actually at the end of the document, and then the blue box, well, there's nothing on it or in it. There's no text on it or in it. So what's going on here? Well, let's take a look. Let's dive back over to InDesign real quick. Why is the title showing up at the end of the document? What is going on there? Well, when InDesign exports to a reflowable format like Epub 3, what it does is it reads the page, it scans the page, if you will, from left to right first, then top to bottom. And then whatever elements it hits, that's the order in which it will stack them when it builds that Epub. So let's take a little closer look here at the top of this page. I'm going to zoom in. And we can see if I use that rule of left to right, top to bottom, the first thing I'm going to hit, if I'm just moving my mouse over here from the left and I start, the first thing I'm going to hit is, of course, the blue box. It extends all the way to the page edge. Now, if I keep moving to the right, what's the next thing it's going to hit? Well, it's going to hit the subhead and the body text. It's going to hit both of those at the same time. So now the second rule comes in, the top to bottom. And so it's going to choose the subhead first, then the body text. And then if I scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, it's also hitting the Brightstream TV logo. It is also aligned on that left edge, so that will be third. Now I'm going to scroll back up here to the top. And here's my problem with the title showing up at the end. Maybe for a design reason, I have moved this slightly to the right. I've indented it a little bit. But I didn't use an indent command. I actually just moved the text box just to get a visual appearance here. And that was probably a poor choice in this case, because now InDesign sees that as coming after the rest of the content. So you've got your choice here of how you can fix this, but that's really what's going on. I'm just going to take the title box here. I'm going to move it back to the left so that it's touching this left edge. Now, if I want to get that appearance of the text in setting, you could maybe insert an empty space here. You could use an inset on this. You could use a first line indent. There's several choices that you can make. But now that this little box is aligning on that left edge, let's see what happens when I export it. Now, I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut for the export command. That's a Command E on a Mac, Control E on a PC. I'm going to export it as an Epub reflowable. Once again, replace my old one. Not going to change anything about it. Tell it OK. Dismiss that. And now you can see that it is at least appearing in the same order. Now, once again, The graphic, the blue box, is always going to be a separate object. If you want that object to appear with the text inside of it, then you have to convert it and the text into some sort of graphic. But other than that, the flowing of the content is exactly the way it is inside of my InDesign document. So there you have it, flowing content and text within an Epub from Adobe InDesign.